Hi there, I'm making this instructional video for making your own silicone insoles. I have extremely high arches for my feet, so getting an insole that has good support is pretty much impossible for me. So I've done the $400 or two to $400 insoles, which I have right here, and I can show you. You know, the ones that you go and walk on the pad and they measure where your pressure points are and they make an insole. But if you look at it, there is zero arch support really on this thing. And on my foot, it's just this big gap. All right, you can see my arch, and like this is obviously not going to take up that space. So I looked into figuring out how to make something myself without having to pay hundreds of dollars to get something else molded. And I found that this works really well. So I thought I'd show you. So maybe you can save yourself some money and get that arch support that you really need. So basically what it is you use your silicone, which is for like bathrooms, windows, outside. This is like a waterproof exterior clear silicone. And you need some glycerin because the glycerin, basically silicone sets through moisture. So the glycerin is what gives you that moisture. If you don't add the glycerin, it will set on the outside of the silicone, but the inside won't, and it'll split, and then you'll have like gooey silicone all over the place. So you really need to make sure you use the glycerin. This is just kind of an example of the silicone after it's set. So you can see it holds its shape really nicely. It's squishy, so it's comfortable, but it's also firm so that it doesn't collapse. Like if it was just foam, the foam will collapse over time. This stuff will never collapse. This I made for my wedding shoes. Basically, the wedding shoes, they're really comfortable. They fit really nicely, but they have zero arch support. If I put an insole in these, they're too tight and I can't wear them because they're just way too tight. So I made these to go on the inside, like so. And you can kind of see it just sits in there, just like that. And I made them by basically putting silicone in a plastic bag, like this. Kind of hard to see. Ziploc bag. And you just put it on the floor and step on it. Step on the silicone, mold it to your foot, and you've got good arch support. You can kind of see that. Really comfortable. And the other nice thing is that it won't stick to your sock. Your sock will slide on this, but to like leather and stuff like that, it grips. Like the silicone will not move in there. So you're not going to have to worry about this swimming around in your shoe. So this is the first time I've really been trying this, so I've been experimenting with that. It seems to be working really well, so I'm going to try some more. What I originally started with was an insole like this. Sorry, an insole like this. And then I add silicone with Saran wrap over top. Let set, and now you have a nice insole. These are my gym shoes, and I did these. These are some of the first ones I did, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, the end result. There's the end result. Now, these have all these weird little grooves because when I first did it, I added too much silicone and it felt like I had like a lump of something in my shoe. So you don't want to add too much. That's kind of, it takes a little bit of practice and you get really used to it and really good at doing it, and then you bang them out in no time at all. So basically, that's the end result. Just the silicone's added in there. And with this one, what I did was I added the silicone to the insole, wrapped it with Saran wrap, inserted it into the shoe, and then I put the shoe on and just kind of walked around in it. Like I said, I added too much silicone and I didn't really press down my foot enough. I thought that, oh, the silicone's really squishy. I don't want to compact it too much. I still want that support. It ended up having too much support. So really the best thing to do is to really walk around and let your foot naturally shape it to where it should go. So these are also some sandals, which I did the same thing to. These are some sole sandals, which are really nice and comfortable. But again, the arch support just wasn't there. It was pretty good, but you could see just how much silicone was added, And like I said, it's really squishy. It's got lots of good support, and it grips onto this really nicely. I've had this on here for a while now, a year now, and I wear these inside all the time, and they're still doing great. And so you can also do it on like that, on like on a sandal, right? You just put the silicone on there, some Saran wrap, put the sandal on, walk around a bit, take the sandal off, let it set overnight, peel the Saran wrap off, and it looks great. So there's that. And just to show you, this one I just did. So here is what it starts off like. And this is kind of the end result. Not the fully end result, because obviously it hasn't set, which is why I still have the Saran wrap on there. But once it's set, I'll pull it off and I'll show you how it looks. So that's where we're starting, end result, and you can see how much silicone is added in there. So what I do is I grab like skewers, like so. I cut them in half so you can use them again. And then your caulking and your glycerin. Oh, and Saran wrap, and an insole. All right, so for me, you'll have to experiment. So for me, I find that 4 full pumps makes pretty much the perfect amount for like my insole. Perfect amount of silicone I need for the insole. So what I'm gonna do, I'll do 4 pumps. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Now, how much? There's about probably at least half a tube left. Probably at least half a tube. So you get about 4 insoles per tube, which is pretty good, considering a tube of the silicone is about $5, I believe, $5 or $6, depending. Glycerin, you can get at any pharmacy for about $5. And what you need is 5 drops per ounce of silicone. If you do 6 or 7 or whatever. But so if you haven't been doing your own and you're starting off, what you do is take your cardboard you're doing it on, put it on like a little food scale, zero it, then add your silicone for how much you think you're going to need. Look at how many ounces it is, and then 5 drops per ounce. So I've done this a bunch of times, so I kind of know for how much I need, which is that's about good because there's a lot still on the stick. And basically you just mix it. Now the pot life, there we go, the pot life of this stuff, which basically means how long you have until it starts setting, is about 20 minutes. You got about 20 minutes of good work time. After 20 minutes, like I said, it starts getting gummy like that other stuff, and you can't really use it anymore. Well, you can, but it doesn't mold as nicely. So I would say, spend a good couple minutes mixing all this really well. You don't want to put too little or do not enough mixing, because if you don't, then the silicone will not fully cure, and then you'll have issues. Oh, one side note is silicone, you will find, has a very vinegary smell. Like I just got a major waft of it. And so if you have major problems with the smell of vinegar, then this may not be for you. But most people, I don't know, if vinegar is like the worst that comes from this, then that's not bad compared to a lot of other chemicals and stuff. So yeah, so glycerin, like I said, it basically you get at a pharmacy, so it's not going to be, it's a topical skin ointment, so it's not bad for you whatsoever. It's not bad for your feet. And then the silicone is used in bathrooms and kitchens and stuff, so it's not bad for you either. You're not going to absorb any chemicals. And I don't know if I said this already, but the reason why you have to add glycerin is because silicone sets with moisture. So the glycerin is what gives it that moisture, and it allows it to cure all the way through. When you do caulking, like in your bathroom and stuff, you don't need to add anything because the caulking will be thin enough that it will absorb enough moisture from the air that it will set. Because these are thick, and because you're putting Saran wrap over it, you need the glycerin for it to fully set. So I think that's pretty well mixed. That's good enough. And doesn't need to be pretty. I'm just kind of trying to get all this up there. And here we go. So what I do is I just add it to where I need it. Now, I've been using, you can kind of tell these are older insoles. Sorry if it grosses you out a little bit. You know, you can see they're a little dirty. So it kind of shows exactly where I need the silicone. It just kind of shows me right off the bat. I don't need to like try to guess where I need the silicone. Now, if you buy brand new insoles that don't show you that, what you can do and what I have done, which works, is you basically just kind of guess where it goes and just use a Sharpie and kind of trace out where you, maybe where your arch, like maybe make a little mark where you can see the gap start and where it ends, and then just kind of guess where you want the silicone to go here, draw a little line, and then put it within that line. If you put it where you don't need it, don't worry about it because the pressure of your feet will push the silicone out. So don't worry too much if you get it in a spot you don't need. It's just good to try to kind of keep it where you need it so that you're not wasting the silicone. So I'm just going to put a little bit around the edge here so it grips nicely. And there. Now, like I said, you kind of want to get like a general shape, but it doesn't need to be perfect because once you stand on it, it will really shape itself. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab some Saran wrap, which hasn't been good. Okay, everybody should have some Saran wrap. It's not really hard to come by. And then what you do is you just kind of place this on there, wrap that underneath there, wrap it underneath there, like that. You just want it basically laid on there really loosely because you want your foot to be able to push down on everything. So now that that's on there, nice and loose, and it's just going to protect your foot, it's going to help it shape the silicone. And then what you do is you leave the Saran wrap on overnight for it to set. The next day you peel the Saran wrap off and it'll be nice and smooth and glossy and look really good. Basically you just put it on the ground, put your foot in where the heel pocket is, the heel cup, and step down. So you can see all the silicone kind of squishing out there. So what you do is you kind of just move your leg around, find that position that you like, and then kind of shape the silicone to where you want it. Now, if you find, oh, you know what, I didn't put enough silicone, sorry about that. If I didn't put enough silicone in this one spot, you can actually just kind of take this and mold it and squish it and put it to where you think you want it, right? And you can just kind of spread it all in there, move the silicone around where you want it, push it back in there if you think that you need more support or you screwed up or whatever. Like it's got quite a bit of pot life, so you can kind of do that and then just stand on it again. There you go. So like I said, I'd like to move my foot around, stand up straight, put your pressure on there, bend down, squish the silicone into the little crevices, like down here, right? I'm gonna make sure I get it all squished in there, down at the back, everything. Now, if you've got a bunch of silicone bulging out the side, this is pretty good. I've done it enough times, I know how much to use. When you first do it, you might use too much and then you'll have a ton sticking out. What you do is you just kind of roll your finger down, roll the silicone, the excess, kind of push it against the insole, and you see that line forming, and basically it kind of just gets rid of that little bit of excess, and then once it's set, that excess will just peel right off. It'll just peel right off. So I just do this, tap it, and there we go. Hold the Saran wrap down and peel your foot off, like so. And then what I do is I like to just kind of squish the edges just so that they're nice and flat. and there isn't like a big ridge there or anything like that. And then also it kind of squishes it. You can kind of see the fabric darkening. So it kind of squishes the silicone into the fabric of the insole, and you know it'll grip really nicely. So here, 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 and right there. And maybe right here at this edge too, just to make sure that it's really gripped in there nicely. Perfect. All right. Now I'll let these set overnight, and then peel the plastic off. All right. So we'll just let this set for the next 24 hours or so, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I let these sit overnight. It's been about 18 hours. I've unwrapped one of these, and everything was okay. I was able to do one, two, uh, three full sets plus one extra insert like this, which I already unwrapped as well. And so everything looks like it's good and set. With these ones here, what I did was I did the insert, which I just put in like the Ziploc bag, put on the ground, stepped on it to get the general shape, and then I just inserted this into the shoe so that they would kind of settle and set, like set into a kind of a shape because there is a curve in the shoe. It's not perfectly flat like the floor. So if I don't know if you can see, but a bit of a curve there, they will fit perfectly in there. So I'll unbake those and then let those dry. And then you can just kind of see how this one was. I just kind of set it in there. And yeah, perfect. All right. And I will unwrap this one. With two hands, it's really quick. With one hand, it's still really quick, just not as fast. Let's see. You don't have to be super gentle. You can just kind of peel this off like that. And there, that's it. Now with that excess that I showed you yesterday, what you want to do is you pushed it here so it's thin there. So what you do is you just kind of pull. Let's see if I can do this. Here we go. You can kind of just pull it up. Now you don't want to pull it off this way. Like you don't want to pull it all the way up because it can pull the silicone off the insole because it is not fully set. It takes a good couple days for it to fully set. So what you do is you get to that point, and then if I can do this with one hand, you just kind of pull. And right where it's the thinnest, it will just peel off. If you wanted, you could use a razor blade to kind of make it really precise and perfect. Oops, sorry. And there we go. Just one last little piece. There. So that's the piece I pulled off the first one. And there. Pretty clean edge, easy to do. And then, like I said, it literally, if you have two hands, it takes no time at all to do this. Maybe 1 minute each one, if that. Now these ones are really thick, so these excess. I obviously used a little too much silicone on these, but that's okay. It's not like it cost me $100 for the silicone, so. Ooh, this one's making a really clean edge. I haven't done this on insoles like these yet, so this is kind of the first time, and wow, that, because it's like a hard plastic on the bottom, that really did a nice clean edge. Kind of hard to see, but nice sharp, yeah, focus, there we go. Nice sharp clean edge, not bad. So here actually, because this is so thick, I can kind of show you, it's, the edges, the tip is set, like that's fully set, but where it's thick, look at how squishy that is, and that's because it's not, it's curing. You know, it's still strong and everything, but it's, oh, there we go. Okay, I don't think it's really going to show in the video, but it is a little gooey still. It is a little gooey, but it's just, you can just see how it's, you know, there. I just squished it, and it's not holding its shape. If I let these set for 2 days and I tried doing that, it wouldn't squish like that. It won't move. It would be flexible, but it would hold its shape. So that's why you do not want to use these for the first couple days, because if you do, it will not hold the shape that you've formed it to. So I'd be patient, leave it for a couple days, just put them by an open window, let them dry out fully, and then put them in your shoes and go ahead and use them. All right, so that's the end of the video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope it was educational, and I hope that you are able to make your own custom insoles, which will fit you like a glove. So, if you have any questions, comments, just leave them in the comment field. I will do my very best to answer any questions, and I hope that you're able to use this and save yourself some money.